Joining us now, Dr. NK Arora, who is the vaccine panel chief. Thanks very much, for being with us. We'll come to you in a moment, but first a couple of comments. Parangav writes, is it safe for children or are we in a hurry to just vaccinate the maximum population? Riddhi has a comment and he says all eyes are on this vaccine that is being made in India after the centre placed an advanced order for 30 crore doses. Well, we're joined now by Dr. Arora. Sir, thanks very much for being with us. You know, there was that article by The Wire, and I asked Mahima Datla, and I think you saw that as well, on whether NTAGI had actually cleared Corbevax. Has it been cleared entirely by Corbevax prior to its release?
So I thank you very much. So pleasure talking to you. And I had the opportunity while you were talking with Mahima, and so that was good to know what she said. So I must say 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
One is that we have reviewed the Corbevax data 7 times. When it was animal studies, at several forums, many of us have been looking at the data when they were animal studies, then phase 1, phase 2, and most recently we have looked at the pediatric data also, along with adult data. So data has been reviewed. The response to antigens, the antibody response to the vaccine is very good. In children, it is more than adults. The third thing is, as compared to the comparator vaccine, the antibody response is better with Corbevax. And another issue is that this vaccine is the adverse events, even those all are mild, and that swelling or local pain is also much less as compared to its comparator vaccine. So it's a very safe vaccine, and as it was discussed, we have another protein subunit vaccine which is being used for 4 decades, over 4 decades,
yep.
And that is hepatitis B vaccine. It's the same vaccine, same platform, but and a similar structure, and even newborns get that vaccine.
Right.
So so this is the history of vaccines manufactured on this platform are there for a long time, and they are very safe. Even the adjuvant which is used is also very safe. There is no problem.
Right.
And then finally, you mentioned about the issue of vaccinating children. So before that, I would like to say one is safety, the other is immunogenicity.
Yeah.
The efficacy today, as Mahima was telling us, that in today's environment, you cannot have efficacy trial because it becomes unethical to have a large number of people with 1 dose or 2nd dose, so it becomes difficult. So WHO has also accepted that we will have vaccination, these immunogenicity studies and safety studies, and that is what has been done.
No, but Dr. Arora, I'm just trying to understand, and you are very much the expert on this. When a Pfizer or a Moderna or any group actually comes out and says, look, we are 90% efficacious, we are X% efficacious, and we don't have that data for the reasons which you have spelled out, or Mahima has spelled out, doesn't it become problematic for users to actually know how effective the drug is?
So first of all, we must understand what does 90% mean, or 80% mean, or 95% mean. I think we should understand that.
It's against the old strain, the original virus, the original strain, right?
No. There is the protection is at 3 levels, and we must understand that. One is protection against new infection, protection against symptomatic infection,
right,
and protection against severe disease. So
right.
3 types of efficacy is there. All vaccine manufacturers project their efficacy against symptomatic disease.
Right.
It does not tell us about prevention of infection, because most of the times it is less than 50%.
But we don't even have that over here on symptomatic disease, sir.
No, the second is for the mild disease is there, and then the severe disease. Now, at the moment, whatever data is available, these are bridging studies, and you can just do immunogenicity. And the antibody response is seen as a proxy of of the efficacy of the data. We know that how much severe disease it will prevent or how much symptomatic disease it will prevent. You cannot say with the current any of the clinical trials which are being done today. Another few vaccines are going to come. We are going to have
now,
the same
sir,
issue.
now that Omicron is the dominant strain, it's hardly relevant for any of us to know how effective any vaccine would have been to, the original Wuhan strain or the Delta strain, etc., etc. So therefore, will we ever be in a position where there is robust statistical data to show how effective this is in all of the different categories that you mentioned?
So I will digress a little bit and I will tell you today evening's information.
Yes.
In Hong Kong, there is an outbreak of COVID. A large number of COVID infections are taking place and deaths are taking place. And 75% are those who have not been vaccinated, and these are elder people. And whatever vaccine they are using the Chinese vaccine, Sinovac, or some of the other Chinese vaccine they have been using, and it does not help them in none of the vaccines. We are also aware that even Pfizer vaccine recipients who have received the booster dose, they have also been getting 2 boosters, even then they have been getting.
No, but,
so
but Dr. Arora, if you say this, then people watching this program would be wondering, then what's the point of vaccines at this
No,
stage?
yes, but that is what I am coming to.
Infection?
That is what, Som, I am coming to, that none of the vaccines prevent infection. Practically none of the vaccines, maximum 30-40% they prevent the infection. And Omicron is a variant which basically was recognized as a vaccine escapee or a breakthrough infection, even in South Africa and all over the world.
Yes.
Now, the whole important thing is, what is the benefit of vaccination? Yes. And benefit of the vaccination is that anybody who has received 2 doses of the vaccine, risk of severe disease, risk of hospitalization, and risk of death becomes less than, it protects 97-98% in all these conditions.
So, Dr. Arora, I must ask you one more question. Now, the government of India's booster policy, and we've done at least 5 to 6 interviews on this. Many people would have said, now even the WHO says that, look, let's have boosters out. Your argument has always been, we need to ensure that most Indians, all Indians, eligible Indians, get 2 doses. Now, we are approaching that, right? We are almost there. So why haven't you rolled out boosters as yet, sir?
Yeah. So in fact, you know that today every individual above the age of 60 years is now getting a precaution dose or a booster dose, whatever we may call that. Because initially we thought comorbid individuals may benefit, but it is difficult to get the individuals comorbid. So this is now to all the people above the age of 60 years, everything. So that is first step, because there are 11 crore people who will require precaution dose in that. But it will be spread over next 6 months or so. So the decision regarding other age groups, we are collating data as well as about the vaccines, whether we should use homologous, which is being used at the moment, or heterologous. So we have plenty of vaccines now, plenty of doses, and the studies are on that which vaccine and which heterologous combination or homologous combination is going to be the best. Right. So that is being thought about, but pediatric is also important because children with comorbidity have to be protected. Sure. And that's why 12 to 14 years children are being given, because to identify comorbid children is a challenge. Absolutely. They are 10 to 15%, and therefore a blanket immunization for all children 12 to 14.
And it's the best thing, sir. Children need to be in school. That's where they belong, and they need to be as far protected as possible. I suspect we are going to revisit this conversation in a few months, but I'm going to ask you again, Dr. Arora, why have you not yet rolled out boosters? But perhaps you'll have something to the contrary to indicate at that stage. Thank you, sir, as always, for being with us.